Hello everybody, myself Swati Deshmukh. I welcome you all in 8th session of your Physics Paper 1 syllabus. In last session, we have started the discussion about sound as a wave, and we have seen various important parameters associated with a sound wave like frequency of sound wave, speed of sound wave, intensity, loudness, and also we have seen how we can use the unit decibel to measure the sound level. Now in this session, we are going to learn few more parameters related with the sound wave. So the next parameter that is again very important whenever sound wave is concerned is the pitch of sound wave. Pitch of sound wave. It is the parameter that decides whether the sound is a grave sound or a shrilling sound. The parameter pitch is related with frequency of sound wave. More the number of vibrations per unit time, more will be the frequency and greater will be the pitch of that sound. Greater will be the pitch of that sound. For example, the pitch of human being sound is greater as compared to the pitch of a buffalo sound. The pitch of a little baby is higher one as compared to pitch of men or women. Also, the pitch of an pistol is more larger as compared to the pitch of a drum. So, like this, we can say greater is the frequency, higher is the pitch of that sound. So, it is only the frequency parameter that determine the pitch of that sound. Nothing to do with the amplitude. Whatever is the amplitude, the pitch of sound depends only on the frequency of that sound wave. So, it is again an important parameter whenever sound is concerned. The next parameter that is associated with the sound is nothing but the quality of sound that we usually use in our day-to-day life. Quality, also known as timbre of a sound wave. So, what is the quality of a sound? It is the parameter that distinguish between two sound waves that are having same amplitude and same frequency. For example, let us consider two musical instruments. One is the veena and another one is, say, guitar. Let us play some music of same amplitude and same frequency on both of these instruments, veena and guitar. But still, we can say the sound coming from veena is this one and sound coming from guitar is that one. I mean, we can distinguish two sound waves coming from two different musical instruments and that are having same amplitude and frequency. How we can distinguish these two sound waves? We use the parameter quality to distinguish the sound waves that are having same amplitude and same frequency. So, it is nothing but the characteristic of sound that enable us to distinguish between two sound waves that are having same frequency and amplitude, means we can say same pitch and same loudness. So, in case if the sound is pleasant sound, then we can say it is of rich quality. Whereas, if the sound is an unpleasant sound like noise, we can say the quality of that sound is very poor one. Moreover, we have seen that in case of open organ pipe, we have seen in last sessions that in case of open organ pipe, all harmonics are found to be present. Whereas in case of a pipe which is closed at one end, only odd harmonics are found to be present. So, comparing these two organ pipes, the sound coming from open organ pipe, where all harmonics are found to be present, is more pleasant as compared to the sound from a closed organ pipe. Or we can say, more number of harmonics present in sound, more pleasant will be that sound, and thus it is of rich quality. The quality of sound depends on the number of harmonics or number of overtones present in that sound. Greater is the number of harmonics, richer will be the quality of that sound. And thus we can say a note, that is the sound of single frequency. A note that is the sound of many frequencies is more better than a tone. A tone is nothing but the sound of single frequency. Note, a sound of many frequencies. And thus a note that consists of many harmonics is more pleasant one as compared to a tone. So, this is the last parameter that is very important to distinguish one sound from another sound. Now, as far as quality of sound is concerned, we must be able to distinguish between the two sounds. One is the music, another one is the noise. Now, this noise concept is quite relative one, because the one music or one sound which is very pleasant to one person could be a very unpleasant one to another person. Like, say, a rock concert is going on. For few people, this rock concert is a thing of joy, whereas few people get bored with this rock concert. So, it is acting as a noise for that person. But in case of physics, we can distinguish music by a noise in quite different way. We can say a music is something which is smooth one and pleasant one to the ear. So we can listen music with a lot of joy. Whereas in case of noise, it is harsh and unpleasant to ear. In case of music, there is no sudden change in the wavelength and amplitude. There is no sudden change in the wavelength and amplitude. Even there is no sudden change in the intensity of sound also. But in case of noise, the wavelength and amplitude could be changes suddenly at any moment. At any moment, there is no any regular thing in case of noise. In case of music, the waveform is regular waveform. There is regular up and down, crisp and trough, compression and rarefactions. Okay, compression and rarefaction. But in case of noise, the waveform is very irregular. The examples of music is nothing but the sound produced by any musical instrument. We call it as a music. Whereas noise, it is the sound produced by aeroplane, it is the sound produced by road roller or industrial machines. We call it as the noise. Sometimes or many times it is true that a music is having sound level only up to 60 dB. Generally, it is having sound level only up to 60 dB, but in case of noise, the sound level is very higher one. So these are the points by which we can differentiate between music and a noise. In these two types, the sound get distinguished. The sound Could be a musical sound or it could be a noisy sound. In musical sound, everything is smooth and regular. In case of noise, nothing is smooth and regular. Now this is all about the parameters of sound wave. Now this is the time to study the structure of our own ear. What are the different parts that are present in our ear and how our ear works to collect the sound from external agency and to detect that sound. What is the function of human ear? So we will study the structure and functioning of human ear. This is the general picture of human ear. The human ear is basically differentiated or is divided into three main parts. This green one, we called it as or this whole one, we called it as the outer part. This red one, we called it as the middle part, middle ear, and this purple one, including the snail-like structure, we called it as the inner ear. So this one is the outer part, middle part, and inner ear. So we say an ear consists of outer ear, middle ear, and inner ear. What are the different parts that are present in outer ear? So outer ear consists of this shell-like structure. We called it as the penna. It also consists of earlobe. It includes an auditory canal. What we called it as the ear canal. And also it includes a membrane, what we call it as the eardrum. It is also known as the tympanic membrane. This tympanic membrane is nothing but a thin semi-transparent membrane. It is thin semi-transparent membrane. So the main use of this outer part is just to collect the sound, to recognize from which direction the sound is coming, and to collect the sound and to pass through the auditory canal, at the end of which there is an eardrum. This is just like if you take a plastic bottle and at the open end of that plastic bottle you can cover it by a balloon, stretched balloon. So whatever thing will be formed, a stretched surface will be formed, that is like a tympanic membrane of ear. It is the part on which if the sound gets hit to this tympanic membrane, it gets vibrate. Vibrations will be produced to this eardrum. So it is acting as a boundary between external ear, outer ear, and the middle ear. Now let us see what are the different parts that are present in the middle ear. So the middle ear, this redder part, it mainly consists of three bones. Malleus, incus, and stapes. Names are found to be quite complicated one. The more general name is hammer, The very first bone we called it as the hammer, as it looks like hammer, incus and stirrup. Hammer, incus and stirrup. So these three bones are present in the middle ear. Along with these three bones, muscles are present. Muscles are present. One is Eustachian tube is also present, and Eustachian tube is also present that connect this middle ear part with the back side of the nose and throat part. Nose and throat part of the human being. So, for what purpose this Eustachian tube is there? The functioning of this tube is to maintain the pressure on this eardrum. Pressure on both sides of the eardrum. This is the functioning of Eustachian tube. Along with these parts, a round window is present, as well as an oval window is present. A round window and an oval window is present here in this middle part. The round window, this is very important. If there is some damage to this round window, then a person couldn't hear the sound, or we can say it is impossible for that person to listen the sound at about 60 dB, normal sound. So we can say ऊंचा सुनता है. So in that case, we can say the round window is damaged one. The oval window is a part that connects the middle ear with the inner ear. The stirrup bone is here attached to this oval window. This oval window is a connection between middle ear and the inner ear. The middle ear is an air-filled cavity. It is filled by air, whereas the inner ear is filled up by some liquid material. It is filled up by some liquid material. So, what will happen? When sound comes from this auditory canal, it allows this eardrum to vibrate. The vibrations produced in the eardrum, they get transferred to these bones, hammer, to anvil, to stirrup. So they get transferred from these bones to the oval window. Not only the transportation, but the sound amplification is also done in this middle part. The sound get amplified in this middle part. So we can say the sound energy, acoustic energy coming from this outer ear get converted into the mechanical energy in this middle part, and this mechanical energy is then transferred to the inner ear. So now let us see what are the different parts of the inner ear. So the main parts of inner ear is nothing but the snail-like structure, what is known as the cochlea. Cochlea. It is said to be the very important part of ear. It is actually that part that distinguishes the sound of different pitch, different amplitude, and like this. So this cochlea is nothing but a bundle that consists of various hair cells. It consists of various hair cells, organs of Kocha. So, this cochlea part is present in inner ear. Along with this, the semicircular canals are there for support. The semicircular canals are present for support and are responsible for maintaining the balance. So, the cochlea that contain the organs of Corti is a structure that contains thousands of specialized sensory hairs. Sensory hairs are present in this region. The vibrations that get transmitted from the middle ear, from this middle ear, they cause the tiny waves to form in the inner ear fluid, which in turn convert a mechanical energy to the hydrodynamic simulations, the hydrodynamic energy, which allow these Corti part, the hairs present on this Corti part to vibrate. These hair cells then convert these vibrations into the impulse, nerve impulse, or signals, which are then sent to the brain through the auditory nerve. Through the auditory nerve, it is connected to the brain, where the sound get interpreted. Okay, in this way, this ear part, inner ear part, will function. So overall, how sound travels through the ear? We can say sound as an acoustic energy passes through the pinna and ear canal and then hit to the drum to cause it to vibrate. Then it get shifted to middle ear. What middle ear do? It set the three ossicle bones into motion and thus changes acoustic energy to the mechanical energy. These bones then amplify the sound signal, and this amplified sound signal it pass through to the inner ear through the oval window. When the stirrup or steps moves in and out of the oval window of cochlea, it creates the fluid motion, that is, the mechanical energy get converted to the hydrodynamic energy. This creates an electromagnetic signal into the fluid, which is sent to the brain via auditory nerve, wherein in the brain the signals get interpreted as the sound wave. And in this way, there is the overall functioning of ear. In this way, an ear can recognize the sound from various sources. So this is all about today's session. In next session, we will see the various musical instruments and its working. Thank you. Have a nice day. Take care and be safe.